What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, no hippie trucking and transportation. I am coming at you from the Valley Grove, TA, sometimes referred to as the Wheeling, TA, West Virginia, I-70 exit 11. So I want to come at you with some real hippie shit today. It's kind of some of that mind meld stuff, and for a long time I did not believe this stuff was true. And until I got a little bit older and really had a chance to see how negativity impacts people, so anyway, I belong to several of these prime Facebook groups and depending on the group, some are not negative at all, then others have like degree of negativity and things like that. And I was always figuring that the 10% of good that comes out of, well, I'm going to speak about one Facebook group. I'm not going to mention it, but the 10% or 5% that comes out of that made the 90% of just stupidity and negativity worth being in the group. Then something happened yesterday that was just like the final straw. And I started thinking about what's going on in this group. And it could be a number of different groups, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a prime group. It could be any group, but just some people will think that negativity does not rub off on them, or in this particular group, you might have like just stupid conversations that, like, I don't even know how you have time for some of these conversations and stuff like that. And it's like, even though it's just a Facebook group, I'm a firm believer in you are who you surround yourself with. And I got to thinking about it and thinking about, I went through some of these posts just to make sure before I exited the group. And I didn't want to say anything in the group. And the only reason I'm bringing it up here is because I think there's something to be gained out of this, especially for younger people. Because I'm not a pilot. I didn't need to announce my departure. But even though it's a Facebook group, all that stuff can rub off on you. So I'm scrolling through here just to see when was the last time like some useful information came across here. It's either people bitching about, how much money they aren't making, how their fleet manager, just a bunch of complaining. And then you just have a bunch of random stuff that has nothing to do with trucking, and that's fine. It's just not fine for me. I just, like I said, even though it's a Facebook group, I'm the sum of all the people I surround myself with, and I just felt like that was not going to be a good representation of myself. So I did leave, and I'm going to talk about the specific incident on why I left, because this will let you know exactly how negative this group is. And I'm going to do that in a separate video. I might do that actually even right after I'm done filming this. But for all you youngins out there, people that are coming up, keep this in mind. Think about all the people that you surround your, like, usually you're not going to have a whole lot of people that are doing a whole lot better. I mean, you want some that are going to be, that are going to give you examples or something to search for. You really don't want to have a whole bunch of people that are doing a whole lot worse, dragging you down. You are going to be that core of all your people. And I'm a firm believer of that. And like I said, that could be some hippie shit. But I would read some of these comments in these videos, and I would either be negative because I'm like thinking in my head, how dumb can these people be? Or just upset at just some of the posts that were going on in there. And I just removed myself from it. I found a lot of people in this group that were, some people call it a crab in a barrel mentality or whatever it is. I saw a lot of that. And there's one thing that there have been some people that I may not have agreed with, or may not even like some of these people. There's another YouTube channel that is always taking digs at Prime, and even taking personal digs at me. And there was a time that he was going through a rough patch and everything, and I was like actually concerned and hoping that things got better for him. I've never been one of these people that thinks that your success has anything to do with mine. I really don't like to see people fail. Even if they do something that's exactly the opposite of what I would suggest or think or anything like that. Even people that, I may not talk to anymore, things like that. I want nothing but success for people, because if you end up being one of these people that's always out there hoping somebody else fails, or just speaking a lot of negativity, that stuff's gonna come back on you. As Brother Malcolm X used to say, the chickens will come home to roost if you put enough of that shit out there. And like I said, maybe that's some new age hippie shit, but I've had a chance to really look at it. And I'll be 100% honest with you. A lot of the success or mindset and some of the stuff that I have is from a lot of the people that, I was lucky that there's a lot of people that I grew up with that have kind of led the way, I guess you could say. I'm going a little off topic, but I can speak about my best friend. You know what? Had my best friend not got married first back in the days, chances are that could have never been anything. I can't explain it. I just surround yourself with people that are going to be positive, that are doing what you want to do. I think what happens, or what can happen, is you have all these people in these little groups and stuff, and I'm talking about this one primary group I'm going to be getting to in a minute. But you hear all these people bitch, I'm not doing good, and I ain't making no money, or whatever it is. And I think it almost gives people an excuse to be able to blame their failures. I mean, it almost gives people an excuse to fail. You sit around and listen to too many people. And I can clearly remember this in, the industry I came from, mortgage industry. Things are slow. You could have an office full of people talking about, business is bad, and then you end up sitting here talking about how bad business is, rather than getting out there, getting your grind on, and actually working for it. It gives you an excuse to fail. You know what? In that business, I had a bad month, but so did everybody else. Well, everybody else didn't really have anything to do with you, unless you let that stuff affect you. So anyway, that's why I ended up leaving that group. It was just bringing too much negativity, and I'm going to be looking through these other groups. I mean, I really don't need it anyway. Every now and then there was a gym in there that I felt made it worth me being in there. And especially after this situation yesterday, I was just like, you know what? There is nothing positive that can come out of this that's going to make up for all this negativity. And some of you guys that are at Prime might be a part of that Facebook group and may know what I'm talking about. But, I mean, how much random... some of the conversations that go on in there outside of trucking just make absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I could be wrong. like I said, I could be on some new age hippie shit, but damn, somebody's getting their grind on. They're out there fueling up the truck, on the jump rope right out there in front of the truck. That is getting busy right there. So anyway, enough about that. I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.